My talent cell battery came in today, and I've been waiting on this. If you actually want to see me opening it and everything and the information, it's on my other channel called Secret Stuff. I'll have a link in the bottom. You can go check it out. But for this, what I want to do is I want to connect my Canon 80D to this and basically have, 8 hours, 12 hours of battery time so I can do a time lapse of the stars. Now the first thing I had to do was I had to pick up a dummy battery for my Canon 80D. Now I've heard that I can plug this directly into the 9 volt here, because this is a 9 volt and a 12 volt, and I heard I could plug this into the 9 volt and it would be fine for my camera. But I don't want to take that chance. I really don't. So I went and picked myself up basically a step down. And this goes, I don't know if I can show this or not. This takes you down from 12 volts to 7.5 and 3 amps is what it does. I taped the red for where I connected to the 12 volt, as you can see here. So, this goes into my camera, and then it's going to go into here on this side. The red side plugs into here. So the only question is, let's make sure we plug it into the 9 volt, which is the yellow one. And it's not working, Josh. Oh, because you need this one. It's a different cord. Okay, yellow to yellow, that makes sense. 12 to 12. And this basically plugs in here. So, I don't want to plug this into my camera right now because, I plugged this into my Canon 80D right now. I don't know what's going to happen. So I want to see what's going on with this here. So I'm going to unplug this side. And I do have a meter. And I'm going to put that on volts. So there we go, 7.5, 7.56 is coming out of there. So, and I would really suggest you do that. Because if you don't test this thing and you just go and wire it up, and I have another one here I'm going to do that I picked up. And these things are only like, I don't know, $8. These are like super cheap, is what they are. I'll have the links in the bottom. So, 7.56. That's what I want. So no matter what would happen if I plug that in the wrong hole? Because that says 12 volt in out. So what if I plug it in the wrong hole by accident? And I've got it on my step down. Does it still do the same thing? Look at that. 7.56. 7.56, and again, see that? So that's what I wanted to make sure of. So it doesn't matter even if I plug this in 12 volt or the 9 volt. When I put the step down on, it's going to basically bring it down to 7.5 volts. And on this, I'm not sure I can zoom in on this or not. Let me see. Now you'll notice on the one side, it does say over here on the left 12 volts in, and then the out is 7.5. So this side's the out, this side's the in. So this is really easy. Really easy to wire. Now to make it easy, because you also notice I wired this with a female on each end. Okay? And then I taped one black, one red. Red being the 12 volts, so this is the most power. But how did I do that? Well, I ended up buying, which made it a whole lot easier, a package which gave me 12 of these. Okay? And then I get a 12 of these, and then I could just cut the wire any way I want. And then, of course, it's got the red, the black, the red, the black. So, when I connected it to this thing, you will notice it says red and black. So I made sure the red and black were here. I made sure black and red, the red was on the yellow. And there was no screwing it up, basically. And I'm going to prep this one up, too. So, on the step down, it's going to set it to 7.55, is basically so what's it cost to do this whole setup? The step down, I think it was about $8, so you're going to pay about $8 for this thing. I forget what the package of 12 was. Maybe it was $10. It really wasn't much for all the wires to connect to your step down. And then your actual battery. Now this battery was $60, but it has more milliamps to it. There's another battery that is a little bit lower than this one. It was $50, and I'll link them in the bottom. So really, you could put an external battery source to your camera, running the step down, and for what, 50, I don't know, under $70. So under $75, you could have an amazing power battery, and this thing's under a pound, hooked up to your Canon 80D, and you basically could now run it for like 8 hours doing time lapse of the sky or whatever, and that's why I picked it up. So like I said, links are in the bottom, and I'll take video of me actually putting all this together, and you can see how I solder it and everything if you want to see that. But if you know how to do that, then you'll find this next part boring. And if you're leaving, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Okay, for this project, you're going to need a soldering tool. And this is a cheap soldering tool I picked up on Amazon. I'll have the link in the bottom if you want to pick the same one up. We're going to need 2 female ends of this. We're going to need something to strip our wire with. We're going to need our step down. And I went and picked up a box of these, which is shrink wrap, which you shrink with a lighter. So, let's see. This is garbage. Well, if I can do that. I might as well go longer. Okay, as long as you put your shrink wrap on first, as you can see what I did there, and then black to black, red to red, and then I just intertwine the wires together. And just try to make sure there's no wires hanging or any hairline wires. Get it as nice as you can. Set yourself up right. Okay. Now you don't have to do this step. This is just me. You don't have to solder it if you don't want to. This kit does come with, this solder kit did come with solder, so you don't need to buy it if you buy this kit. It comes with enough to do this. And really, this is just to give it some extra hold. Make the connection better. Okay. I want to, on the other side's already done there. Oh, that looks alright. Okay. So now you're going to push it down and slide your rubber over, your heat shrink stuff. And that's it. And you're going to get that looking pretty good. And literally take your lighter and just get it to start shrink wrapping. Very nice. And there we go. And there we got one female end ready to connect. Now what I want to do is I want to know which one's hot, or which one's 12 volt all the time, not which one's hot. I want to know which one is the 12 volt plug-in and which one's the 7.5 volt plug-in. So this side's my 12 volt plug-in. So I'm going to tape that red. So literally it's going to tell me that this is 12 volts. So there's no mistake of which end I plug this into, because basically this plugs into the battery, not my camera. And there we go. So we got one female end done. Okay, and now we just need to do the other end. So again, we're going to cut this. I'm just going to trim it off a little bit. 16. Making sure I hang on to this end so I don't pull it out of the step down. Okay. Give these wires a little twist so that way I know there's nothing hanging out there. I need another female, which is the one with a hole in it. We're going to cut this one off a little bit. We're going to spread it. And I want to do this one 16 too. And this one. Okay. Give them a little twist. And then I'm going to need a black and a red of my sleeves. So my red's going to go on my red. Okay. And my red has to go on my red, my black on my black. This is red. This is black. All right. So again, over here. Black to black. Red to yellow on this one. Twist it on. Solder them up. And after you drop some solder on it, just rub your soldering iron up and down it, and it'll run inside of it. Kind of what I do. Okay. Yeah, she's okay. I could do a little bit here in the end. Okay. And now, same thing. We're going to pull these back. We're going to push our rubbers down. Our shrink wrap. Sit up. And then we're just going to hit them with the lighter again. Seems to shrink up pretty good. Okay. Now at this end, I don't tape it red. I tape it black. So I know 12 volt is red. And my 7.4, which is what goes into my camera, is black. It also helps to give the wire a little bit more strength, basically. Okay. So, do I attach this to my camera right now? No, I don't. I do not attach it to my camera. Never trust yourself. I need to know that all my wires are connected properly. And the only way I'm going to know that is if I test it. Can I have the battery back? So I'm going to set this to, I'm going to make sure I'm on volts. If you don't have a meter, go pick one up. And remember, I want to plug into the yellow one, which is 9 volts. Then I want to plug into the red, because that goes to power. The black one would go to the camera. So what I want to see is what's coming out of this black one. That's what I want to see. So, battery's on. What do we got coming out? I seen it there for a sec. Let me try it again. And I'm touching the black one to the outside and the red one to the inside. And it looks like it says 7.55. So that's good. Now for the heck of it, I'm going to plug this into the 12 volt. I mean, what if I do it by accident and I send 12 volts into my camera? Okay? I would fry my camera. But with the step down on, you'll notice I'm 7.55 dead on. So it doesn't matter if I plug my power into the 12 volt. It doesn't matter at all. Okay? If I plug it in the 9 volt or I plug it in the 12 volt, it affects nothing. Nothing at all. Now this came with this here, which plugs into the 12 volt. And for the heck of it, see, what if I accidentally did that and I plugged it into the 12 volt? You know, then this would end up plugging into my camera. Is what would happen. And which would mean, if I did that, I would have fried my camera, but because I've got the step down there, there's no way of that happening. Come on. $7.55. So there's no way that I can accidentally fry my camera by doing that. So I think you're very smart to have the step down on this. Now the nice thing about this, it doesn't matter if I use this battery or I use another battery. As long as the battery has a 12 volt out, then this can connect to it. And life is good. You see? But I made this with 2 female ends. Is what I made this with. Okay, let me show this to you. I'm going to see about zooming in on this. Now, this is used in marine, okay? So it's waterproof. So literally on the left side where the red is, that's a 12 volt connection. On the right side is what it steps down to, the 7.5 volts. And it's actually putting out 7.55 as you see with my meter. So, no matter what, you're not going to hurt your camera. So now I just take the dummy battery, which is, you know, you buy online, I'll have a link to it, and it plugs into the 7.5, the black. The red plugs into the 9 volt on this side. And then it should... I'm going to remove the microphone. Makes it easier for you guys to see. So there's our Canon 80D. You guys are going to have to pardon my mess here. Okay. So, a Canon 80D. There's our battery compartment there. So, there's our dummy battery. That's going to plug in there. Now, with all cameras, there's usually a plastic thing. Well, with the Canons there is. That allows me to have it come out the side. And you'll see it comes out over here. So then the door shuts. Okay. So that's done. The camera's hooked up. Alright. So, there's our step down. And we are going out to 7.5 to 12 volt. Red is 12 volt, remember? Here's our battery. We're going to plug into... I want to make sure the camera's off. There's one plug. There's the other one. Alright, we're going to plug this in here. And that's the 9 volt on this. And we're going to plug in here. So right now we've got power going to the camera. Turn it on. Bingo. See that? And it didn't say nothing. So right now my Canon 80D is running off this big battery. So there's how you set up your Canon 80D, or any other camera for that matter, with an external battery source, and I added the 7.2 volt step down just in case, so I can't mess up. That's what I did. So you can do what you believe is right. Now I've seen guys just plug the camera directly into a 9 volt battery, the Canon 80D, and they say it works fine. I didn't want to take that chance. And if I accidentally plug it into the 12 volt on the battery, then there's no way I can mess up. So there you have it. If you're looking for a way to extend your battery life, you can do this for, I don't know, maybe 75 bucks or so. And you can be good to go. There's two different types of battery. This battery costs a little bit more because it had more milliamps to it. I'll give you links to both. One's like 50 bucks. This one was like 65. I'll give you links to both and a lot of the stuff I bought here. Most of it bought. I already had the tester. The other stuff I pretty much had to buy to do this. But when it comes to the tool, it's always nice to have them laying around. Okay, and if you do this, let me know in the comments. If you like this, great. I'm going to do some time lapse of the skies and stuff, and it's going to be really cool. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one.